Hello, peeps. You know, I never know how to address you guys. I mix it up. Do I need to come up with like a slogan? You know how some YouTubers have like a thing they say? I don't know. I don't think I need that, do I? Can you guys think of something? I just address you however I feel hits me at the moment. Today it's hello, peeps. Whatever. Anyways, we are in beautiful, picturesque Hampton Falls. We were on our way to run some errands and I'm like, you know what? I want to say hi to the peeps. Wish you guys an almost happy new year. Hope everyone's having a very happy holiday season. And I wanted to show you this beautiful town green town center and how they decorate and talk to you briefly about the history of Hampton Falls and what happened here. So Hampton Falls used to be part of Greater Hampton. And it's a little confusing because there's Hampton Falls, Hampton Beach, Hampton, but this is Hampton Falls, and look how beautiful they decorate. It looks like, again, I know I say this quite a bit when I'm touring places in New England and showing you guys, but it looks like a dang movie set. As you can see, cars going by, people living their lives. It is very much real, and they decorate it really lovely. It's sunset right now, but everybody is staying healthy and happy. I have heard that there is like a lot of sicknesses going around. Thank God none of us have gotten any of that. We are hyper vigilant, but I know that even doing that, you know, things happen this time of year. But the people of Hampton Falls in 1735 were not so lucky. There was a horrible throat infection that swept through. A bunch of people died, and it's said that only 2 households in the whole entire town escaped this throat infection, and it was really bad. Of course, no antibiotics at the time or anything like that, and I'm sure that people were going to church and praying, probably individually. They probably stayed away then, even though their concept of germs was different. They did quarantine and things like that at times. Sometimes depending on the physician or who was in charge or what the attitude of the day was. Medicine was rapidly changing at this time. We would have some groundbreaking physicians like the wonderful Benjamin Rush in Philadelphia, who came in later and, you know, modernized medicine, talked against like so much bloodletting, superstitious things like that. It wasn't the air, but he even started to wonder about germs and knowing that it was oftentimes the water and things like that. But anyways, this town, I get very sidetracked when it comes to the 18th century. This town did recover and grew, and you can see here just how beautiful. They have these awesome memorials. In 1789, a then President George Washington came here on his way up to Portsmouth after visiting Kingston, New Hampshire. And we live in between this town and Kingston. I have actually nerded out and studied in a lot of detail the map, for which follows the route that Washington would have taken, and you cannot convince me that he didn't tread right through what is now our property. I want to believe that. I can't prove exactly, but looking at the map, there's a high probability that he came through, which brings me more happiness than I can ever describe, because I'm a nerd. This brings me to our next little host. So much history in one area. Now this is another stop on Lafayette's tour. September 1st, 1824, General Lafayette was welcomed in Hampton Falls, where he was introduced to the Portsmouth Committee of Arrangements as part of his United States tour of goodwill after fighting in the Revolution, going back to France, fighting in the French Revolution, and coming home. He wanted to see everybody. He was greeted by people, and this sign was just put up to commemorate the anniversary of that tour. And they did a lot of reenactments and things this year with that, which if you go back and see our Lexington Mass video, you will see where we met the General Marquis de Lafayette, Joubert himself, and went to one of those events. So very cool, very exciting time to be alive. Now, of course, the flag is at half-staff or half-mast because President Jimmy Carter, 100 years old, passed away yesterday. Another war vet, he fought in World War II. Say what you want about any of the presidents. There could be much to be said about Jimmy Carter, but he was president, he was a veteran. So it's kind of the end of an era. Jimmy Carter finally passing away yesterday, 2024. And, you know, no matter what you think about a certain president, like I said, he was a veteran. We actually just went and saw A Complete Unknown, the Bob Dylan movie. I have a point here, just hang on. Great movie, by the way. Highly recommend. James Mangold did it again. We loved Walk the Line. A Complete Unknown was fantastic. And Timothy Chalamet does an incredible job. But we just found a clip this morning. We were drinking our coffee, sitting around talking, of Jimmy Carter talking about Bob Dylan. And it was kind of fun to connect the dots there again and piece all that together. So, you know, history everywhere, right? As I was saying, back to the 18th century, President Washington came on a New England tour of goodwill. He wanted to see the state of affairs here, that the war was over in just 1783. So the Rev War, 1775, officially over in 1783 after the signing of the Treaty of Paris, and things were sorted out. We were a new nation, had to get things situated. He wanted to come, spread goodwill, and he was, you know, just became president, so get his name out there as well. And he came here and he went up to Portsmouth, but he did stop along the way. And they probably didn't have a nativity like this when he came, but I love this. We stop and look at this every year. Old school, kind of nice to see one that isn't covered up. A lot of them you see now are covered up with glass so that people don't vandalize them. But I guess the good people of Hampton Falls and the New Hampshire seacoast know what's up and have been respectful so far and have been nice to the nativity, which is very cool. This is a very old school one. I dig it. I like it for several reasons. First of all, and this is kind of, you know, hey, I say what I say. I like that the people look the color that they would have been. There, I said it. No regrets. It's true. And it's a more accurate depiction of the wise men, Mary, Joseph, and baby Jesus. It's really pretty. You've got the angel there. It looks like a big version of this miniature plastic. Do you guys remember the vintage little plastic ones? My mom had it. I feel like it was my grandparents at some point. Look, just the angel's exactly the same with the star. It's just like you're walking into the real one. So cute. And they wrapped baby Jesus in tartan as God intended. Too, that these are really pretty and look vintage, and we're wondering, like, they're probably worth, now you guys don't come disturb them or anything, but just saying, like, I know you guys won't, but I mean, these would probably come, like, if you tried to reproduce this, probably a hefty price tag. Really pretty. It's also Hanukkah. As you can see, I'm wearing my Hanukkah sweater. You know who else celebrated Hanukkah? This kid when he grew up. Seen. Just, like, appreciate this with me for a second. I sure the heck do. I'm telling you, like, so beautiful. And this is just, you know, New England has a lot of town greens like this, middle of the village or town. Doesn't get old for me. I think part of it is, you know, growing up in Los Angeles and dreaming about things like this, reading about things like this, watching things with it, or visiting my grandparents in Maryland and being able to get a glimpse of stuff like this, but always wanting to live it And now I do, so I appreciate it even more. Of course, any place that George Washington visited is a-okay with me. And it's hard to believe that just 10 years later in 1799 he would pass away. You know, they say throat infection, but those darn teeth. But, oh, and that's a real tree. You can smell it. I just realized that is so cool. So, we're going to take a look over here. He would pass away just 10 years later. The teeth were a constant issue. The infection spread to his throat. He went on a fox hunt, wasn't properly clothed. This cemetery is new. 1840. And he passed away at home. He had a physician and friend. Darn it, I cannot remember his name right now. Why can't I remember his name? I say it all the time. Okay, I'll put it in the description. He had a friend who wanted to come and do this weird experiment on him. I don't know why I'm telling you guys this now, but they wanted to bring him back. His friend thought that he could bring him back to life. He was clearly dead, and it was like days later. And his other friends and family were like, no, we're not going to do that. It's disrespectful and weird. But his friend was so desperate, like, no, he's not that old. We can do it. It was creepy. It was some weird thing they were going to do. Yeah. Did you guys know that? Me and my weird fun facts. I love George Washington. These people, let's see, 1891. So they were around in Washington's time, but not when this cemetery hadn't even been established when he came, so this wouldn't have been part of it, but it definitely completes the look and is, you know, this is a common town setup with the church, the gazebo, the town green, and everything, and it just looks extra festive this holiday season. So I thought I would show it to you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. This is going to be a little video. I know I say that, sometimes it's not, but this time it really is. Just kind of wanted to like check in with you guys and say hi. We didn't do anything too crazy for Christmas or anything like that. Had my nephew over from Connecticut. He stayed with us for a week. We watched way too many stupid, ridiculous Hallmark movies. Went to the movies and saw Complete Unknown, like I said. Okay. First Baptist, 1836. Yeah, so if this had been an older church, so this church was not where they were praying when they were sick with the throat infections. But it makes sense now because it's Baptist. That wasn't as mainstream. Most of them were kind of, you had the Danbury Baptist in Connecticut early, but a lot of them ended up having to go to Rhode Island because they were very persecuted. I know it seems funny to think about Baptist people being persecuted, but it was not mainstream in the 18th century. Started to grab hold more in the 19th century, so it makes sense that this lovely church is a little newer. Still an active congregation. It is very cute. This would be a beautiful place to get married. I'm already married, so I don't need to do that, but somebody could get married here and it'd be the money shot, as they say. So yeah, our Christmas was very chill. Hanukkah's been very chill. New Year's are going to be even chiller. I don't really like to go places. New Year's Eve, I don't like to be out on the road with crazy people who might be, having too much fun. So I'm probably going to do not much. But I hope that you guys are chill as well. I did get some new books for myself for Christmas this year. Some history books, of course. And so I'll be even more full of knowledge for everybody. The learning never ends. So that's been fun, and kind of looking at those too. I can't completely rot my brain on Hallmark movies, but all right. Well, I think that's gonna be all for today. Got some other fun stuff planned. I know it's kind of a little video, like I said, but wanted to check in. Again, I hope everybody is well. I am that history chick, and like Patrick Henry, I know no way of judging the future but by the past. Like, share, and subscribe. It would mean the world to me. Take care, and Happy New Year. Bye.